I recently reviewed Lenovo Slim 7X, a stunning, lightweight premium laptop with excellent battery life, and it had lots of power. But it ended up just falling short. You see, I found its trackpad felt cheap, it had woeful port selection, and a lot of applications just wouldn't run due to its Snapdragon processor. Well, Lenovo just came out with a new Slim 7, the Slim 7i Aura Edition, and it solves all the issues I had with the 7X. In fact, this is now my favourite thin and light laptop with a large display. It has Intel's brand new Lunar Lake processor inside, which brings with it many benefits, including broad application support, as well as no heat and fan noise and long battery life. It has a super comfortable keyboard, a great display, and ample ports. It even has an improved trackpad over the Slim 7X. That being said, as you're about to see, it's not perfect. But first, UGreen, today's video sponsor, has a brand new charger from their Uno range. This is a high wattage version of their popular Uno 65-watt charger. You know, the one that looks like a cute little robot. This one though can deliver up to 100 watts of power, charging an iPhone 16 from 0 to almost 60% in around 30 minutes. This charger is just as well built and as cute looking as its smaller sibling. Its display uses facial expressions to let you know how your devices are being charged, i.e. fast charging or trickle. Like all UGreen chargers, this one can charge multiple devices at the same time via its 3 USB-C ports and single USB-A port. And since it uses GaN charging technology, it is smaller than a traditional 100-watt one. We've been using these in the studio and we love them. And your laptop too deserves a better kind of charger. Treat it to a UGreen Uno 100-watt charger using the link below. I'm going to start with its look and feel, as that's the first thing you'll notice. The Aura's lunar grey colour makes it look boring, like any old laptop. It's unfortunate, as the Slim 7X is a very sexy looking machine. It has this stylish dark blue colour and nice feeling finish, which the Aura does not. When it comes to portability, the Aura is very light for a laptop with a large 15.3-inch panel. It weighs only 3.4 pounds, which is around the same as the MacBook Air 15's 3.3. Even though the Aura is very light for its size, I personally found the Slim 7X felt noticeably more comfortable to carry around. It is of course a smaller laptop with a 14.5-inch display, and because of this it is lighter at 2.8 pounds. It's also a hair thinner than the Aura. This is the same with the MacBook Air 15, which is significantly thinner. This makes both those laptops easier to pick up and carry around than the Aura. And on that note, I do have one annoyance to share. When you do grab the Aura, you'll need to be very careful not to grab it on the side of the laptop where the power button is. It's really easy to accidentally mispress. It does only put the laptop to sleep, not turn it off completely, but it's still a really stupid place to put a power button. Now, when using the Slim 7i Aura, you'll notice that its hinge is too tight to open with one hand, something that you can do on the Slim 7X and the MacBook Air. But once you do get the Aura open, you'll see something a tad disappointing. Right now in the USA, the Aura only comes with an IPS panel. It's not a bad panel by any means. It's got a high resolution of 2880 by 1800, it's bright at 500 nits, it's got a wide color gamut, and it has a 120 Hz refresh rate. It even supports touch. But after having used the Slim 7X right before this laptop, I definitely noticed that the OLED panel in that laptop is better than the IPS one in the Aura. That laptop's display is just more vibrant with true blacks and significantly higher contrast. Now, I have heard rumors that the Aura will be available with an OLED display, at least in some regions, but I've also heard that it will be a cheaper OLED panel than the one found in the 7X. It will be more similar to the OLED panels found in Asus and HP laptops. These don't get much brighter than 400 nits for SD content, and many of them suffer from a screen door effect, where when you look at wide content, you can see colored pixels peeping through. I'm unsure if that will happen on the Aura's OLED panel, but moral of the story, the Slim 7i Aura Edition has a great IPS screen, but if you want the best OLED panel out there, the Slim 7X is the way to go. Let's talk about the keyboard. It is excellent and feels great to type on. Clicky but not crazy loud like most clicky keyboards. I think the Aura and the Slim 7X actually both use the same physical keyboard. They both have the same layout, which is standard, so no mispressing keys, well, other than perhaps the Copilot key, and both of them have the same 1.5mm of key travel. Where they do differ seems to be the coating used on the keys themselves. The Slim 7X's coating feels a little slippery compared to the more matte feel of the Aura's keys. Typing on the Slim 7X's version of this keyboard feels a bit more aggressive, almost like a mechanical one, and typing on the Aura's keyboard feels more soft touch. I am delighted to report that the trackpad of the Aura is a step up from the 7X. It still is a mechanical one, but its click is quieter, thank gosh. And gliding your fingers across the Aura's trackpad just isn't as slippery as the 7X's, which means that I found myself being more accurate on the Aura. Another positive is the ports. I was relieved to see that the Aura has a decent port selection versus the limited one of the 7X. That laptop only has 3 USB-C ports and doesn't even have a headphone mic combo jack. On the Aura, you've got one USB-A port, an HDMI 2.1 port, and you do have a headphone mic combo jack. You do lose one USB-C port though compared to the 7X, but I think 2 is enough. Both of them do support Thunderbolt speeds and charging, and we did notice that this laptop charges very fast. Also, since the USB-C ports are placed on either side, charging cables can be kept out of the way. On the other hand, the speakers on this laptop are just really subpar for a laptop at this price point. The Zenbook S14 with Lunar Lake and the MacBook Air, they both have significantly better ones. Music sounded rather bass heavy while other frequencies sounded muffled. The 1080 webcam on the Slim 7i Aura Edition is really bad. It's one of the worst I've seen in a long time. I look so pixelated. This is not a webcam that I would personally want to have a conversation with my boss on. When it comes to performance, I do have a detailed video out on these new Lunar Lake processors, so I'm going to keep this brief. If you do want more details, just check that video out. Link will be in the description. Anyway, here are the highlights. These new Lunar Lake laptops have excellent single-core performance, which makes most tasks that you do on them feel snappy. This is helped by faster on-chip memory. I found basic things like browsing the web, working on Office documents and the like all felt snappy enough. When it comes to graphics, these processors have excellent integrated graphics. This will allow you to get some solid frame rates in less demanding games and even give you a taste of more intensive ones. I played a couple of rounds of League of Legends on this laptop and found that I was able to run the game at the screen's native high resolution with highest in-game settings and was able to get well over 60 frames per second all of the time. Taylor even tried video editing on this laptop and found it to be a good experience. That is, as long as your project is simple. Where these laptops do not do well is in multi-core CPU performance. All these Lunar Lake laptops have only 8 cores, 4 performance and 4 efficient ones, and they no longer have symmetric multi-threading. This results in this laptop performing worse in multi-core than laptops with a Snapdragon X Elite chip and AMD Zen 5 processors. Heck, it performs worse in multi-core than some older laptops with Intel's Prime Meteor Lake chips. That being said, this Aura is fed 30 watts of power, which is 5 watts more than the Zenbook S14 that we tested with the same processor. That does allow the Aura to perform a little better than that laptop, so that is a minor positive. In the real world, this is enough multi-core performance to handle multitasking, like switching browser tabs or between applications. In fact, even some more intensive tasks like coding will be fine on this laptop, once again, so long as the projects that you're working on are simple. This being said, for applications that can take advantage of a higher core count, or if you're working on more complex projects, this laptop is going to significantly lag its competitors. Back on the positives, one great thing about the Aura is how quiet it is and how cool it feels under any use case. Throughout my day, I rarely heard the fans going, and when I did, they were extremely quiet. The laptop also felt cold to the touch. Even when gaming, the fans were only lightly audible, and the laptop still didn't get warm. Heck, we ran a torture test playing Cinebench on a loop for 10 minutes on the laptop's highest performance mode. It still remained cool to the touch, and its fan noise was reasonable compared to the competitors. Battery life on this laptop is pretty good, but it doesn't quite reach the ridiculous heights of the other Lunar Lake laptop we have in, the Zenbook S14. For light use while on battery, this laptop came in behind that one, but it is still towards the top of the pack. When running performance tasks while on battery, this laptop didn't do so well. The high power fed to its processor, plus its smaller battery and larger screen are probably the culprits. Anyway, if you are wondering if it maintains its full performance while unplugged, it does. Now, with all these new Lunar Lake laptops, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4 and memory are all included in the chipset. So they aren't upgradable. You can upgrade the SSD though. Because we're ballers, we did try testing Linux on this new laptop using Fedora 40. It was just a quick test running on the USB boot drive. Although Linux did boot, the trackpad didn't work, the Wi-Fi couldn't be found at all, we couldn't control the brightness and the speakers didn't work. It seems it's a bit early when it comes to Linux on this new Lunar Lake laptop. Alright, let's wrap. If you're looking for a laptop with a large screen that is portable, the Slim 7i Aura Edition is my #1 pick. To be honest, I didn't think it would be going into this review, as I immediately noticed several areas where it is a step back from the Slim 7X that I reviewed the other week. But the more I used the Aura, the more I loved it. The improvements that it does make over the 7X are just far more noticeable than the areas where it is worse. Those ended up being minor. Since there are so many new laptops out right now and it can get confusing working out which to buy, I'm just going to spend the rest of the video sharing my thoughts on how the Aura stacks up versus its competitors. Versus the Zenbook S14 with the Lunar Lake, I'd personally get the Aura. It's a more premium machine in areas that matter most, like its keyboard. And even though it does have an IPS panel versus the Zenbook's OLED, I personally feel that the panel in the Aura is better as it gets brighter. And that makes the Aura more usable in different environments. Compared with large screen laptops with Snapdragon processors like the Surface Laptop 15, I think that the Aura will be a better buy for the majority of people. These new Intel processors have broader application support. You see many specialist applications and games just don't run well on Snapdragon hardware. I think the faster multi-core speeds of the Snapdragon laptops are just overshadowed by the compatibility issues. That being said, I'm not saying Snapdragon laptops are dead. Absolutely not. They're still very competitive for smaller laptops at around the $1,200 price point. Right now, there really aren't any small, top-notch Lunar Lake laptops out. Certainly none that are as good all round as the Surface Laptop 713 or the Slim 7X. So if you are looking for a small laptop and you are just sticking to office applications, web browsing and other basic software, just go ahead. Snapdragon laptops are still a great choice for you. Same goes if you are sure that your specialist applications will run. Compared to the MacBook Air 15, I know this is going to sound absolutely nuts, but I think that most people will prefer the Aura, and it is a lot cheaper. Where the MacBook Air shines over this laptop is in ancillary things like better speakers and webcam. But even then, the Aura's keyboard is way more comfortable than the Air's, plus the Aura has better ports. Compared to the Asus Zenbook S16 with AMD Zen 5, that laptop does give you a larger display, a more powerful processor, and gives you excellent battery life. But that laptop can get very warm to the touch, which is annoying. Personally, I'd take the Aura and just deal with its slower multi-core performance. If you do want a more powerful machine, rather than try to force a more powerful processor into a small, thin and light laptop, I'd personally buy the Asus ProArt P16. That laptop is fantastic and it's very light and portable for the performance it offers. Finally, on the flip side, if all these laptops are too expensive for you and you just want long battery life and a decent machine, what these Lunar Lake laptops are showing us is that we should have paid more attention to laptops with a lower powered 125U version of Intel's older Meteor Lake chip. For example, the Yoga 7i 2-in-1. It has crazy long battery life and can now be found super cheap. On that note, links to all the laptops that I talked about in this video will be in the description below, and you'll also be able to find them on our website. That's where we list all the laptops that we recommend for various types of users and where to go to get the best deals on them. You can even find easy links to our YouTube reviews of them. So go check that out. It's quickly becoming a hub for laptop buying. If you want to support the channel, become a Patreon subscriber or YouTube member, or something free that you can do is just smash the like button and get subscribed. Not only does it help us grow, which means that we can make more videos for you, but it makes my dearest mother very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day and I will catch you later.